guys, today we're back and we're making salsa. This is homemade salsa from real tomatoes, none that came out of a can or anything like that. This is another one of those summer staples. I think my husband practically drinks salsa as like an addition to any meal he has. So we always have salsa on hand. I'll just kind of walk you through it. I went ahead and did some prep. Really, it's because I don't want you guys to see me cry, at least not yet. And every time I cut an onion, it's bad. It's so bad. So I went ahead and did a little prep to save myself that embarrassment. So what we're gonna do is I just roughly chop things, but then I let my food processor really do the rest of it. So I'm gonna start out with the cilantro, which I just roughly chopped. And so a lot of this recipe is the thing that I don't like about cooking sometimes, where it's like, just to taste. What do you like? No real recipe. That's kind of this though, because some people love cilantro, me. Some people don't love it. So you may want half of what I just put in there. This is about 1.5 ounces of cilantro. Typically, I'll just grab a bundle from the grocery store and just use the whole thing. If you're not a cilantro fan, I would cut that in half. I'm going to use one jalapeno. I went ahead and de-seeded it, and I'm just going to toss it in there and let the food processor chop it for me. This is going to make maybe a medium hot salsa. For me, I'm not a super hot fan. So sometimes it's even a little spicy for me. So I say medium. Some people would probably call this mild. It really depends on the jalapeno. Sometimes they're just way hotter than they used to be. Or sometimes, whatever. So the other thing is half of a red onion. And I went ahead and I just chopped it in half, and then I chopped it half the half, so in a quarter. And I'm just going to drop them in there and just let the food processor finish chopping it up for me. Normally I would do this with 2 hands, but I have nowhere to sit this, so I'm just going to awkwardly hold it. It'll be good. I don't have a spot. Look at there. I'm also going to put in, it's 3 cloves of garlic, but I just buy this huge thing of minced garlic. So what it's going to be is 1.5 teaspoons. And sometimes I just put extra because, I love garlic. I think it's amazing. And so the salt, I'm going to start out just putting a teaspoon of salt in there. We like our salsa just with, you can taste the salt. So once I combine everything, if I think it needs a little more salt, I may throw a little more in there. Graceful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have all this chopped up before I start adding my tomatoes. And just push everything down and just run it one more time before I add in my tomatoes. Next, I'm going to add in my tomatoes. So it's about 10 Roma tomatoes. You can use whatever tomatoes you prefer to use. I've used different kinds and it's been good too. But this is about 10. I halved them, I de-seeded them. Once they're in there, if I feel like I may need a few more tomatoes, I'll throw a few more in there. So we like our salsa not chunky, so we like it really smooth and together. So usually I let the food processor run a little bit longer than some people may be comfortable with. But like I said, we're not chunky salsa people, so. Okay, I'll let it just do a rough chop real quick, and then I'm gonna put, squeeze my limes in there. So this is we think it tastes better with limes in it, so we do a lot of limes. Today I'm using 7. These are a little bit bigger. If they're smaller limes, I'm gonna put 10 or more in there. Also, usually this is when I call Matt in here to squeeze the limes for me because he has his like big man hands where he can just like double squeeze 2 limes at the same time. And I have little tiny girly hands that are not good at this. But he told me that I had to do it myself this time, so. And now he's smiling off camera because he thinks he's funny. I think he just likes to watch me struggle.
You got it.
Thanks, babe. Then there's also something a little satisfying about just like squeezing it. Maybe if you've had a rough day at work. Okay. I'll go a little bit longer. Okay, let's see what it tastes like. So as you can see, like my salsa is like pretty runny for salsa, but it's just how we like it. And it's also because I use a lot of lime juice. I am gonna throw just a pinch of salt in there with it. But you have to try a chip with it. I think Matt's drooling off camera. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, for making salsa with me. Go make salsa, have some tacos, have a burrito bowl, something tasty, and enjoy your spring and summer. Thanks, bye.